here we are in week 8, and this was actually the funnest for me as far as being able to deal with a play kit. When I was going to Sonoma State getting my bachelor's in psychology, we had an amazing sand tray play therapy room, and the room was lined with shelves, and on those shelves was everything you could possibly imagine. And my professor is the one who actually provided all of the miniatures for that room years and years prior. And she told us that she had been collecting for years. Anywhere she went, any secondhand store, she'd stop at garage sales. Her friends and families and everybody knew that she collected miniatures, and so they were always gifting her miniatures. Throughout the 4-month semester, every morning we came to class 2 days a week, maybe 2 or 3 days a week. And every day that we came to school, she would have us go in small groups and each grab one thing out of that sand tray room, which was 2 or 3 doors down, and come back, and it would be incorporated in memories that we have or dreams that we have, or she would just get us to think about these miniatures as a way of identifying ourselves with them, identifying them with our life, identifying them with our feelings, or maybe just for fun. And it stuck with me, and it was amazing. So for the sake of this assignment, over the entire term, I have been collecting miniatures. And I had decided that I was going to do a play therapy sand tray room that I could take with me on my next leg of my practicum, which I will be working with kids, I'll be working with family members. And honestly, I have an incredible array of miniatures here. So you may be able to see the people I have here. I have individuals that represent Hispanic families, that represent white families, Black families. I also ordered a Asian family, but they were out of stock, I'm guessing. So they will notify me when that comes. Oops. Okay. I also have, in the place of your traditional families, I have little colored people. And I know that it's very important that the sand tray room, the miniatures, represent everything in the world. And they can also represent like the miracle question, as far as if you were to have your problem solved miraculously, the miniatures can represent what that would look like for that individual. Miniatures can also be used to help with goal setting. And sand play is a way to use directive play or non-directive play. And let's see. So this came from a client-centered approach through Carl Rogers, and it allows children to be able to get their feelings out. I'm referring to my notes over here so I don't forget what I wanted to say. And in having a well-stocked playroom, when a child's feelings are expressed, identified, and accepted, the child can accept them and then is free to deal with their problems and feelings. So I'm going to introduce you to some of my guys here. I don't want to turn my computer around because the house is a mess, and I've still got packaging and stuff from the past several weeks. But okay, so I have lots of representations, and all these little pieces come out. I also have the many people to represent handicapped people. There's just lots. I have anything from warriors on flying dragons that can come and save the day. I have all kinds of superheroes. I have knights on horses that can come and rescue or fight with you. I have princesses, and I have mythical creatures and unicorns. I have things that represent death. I have things that represent maybe feelings surrounding, an animal that has passed. Lots of critters. I've got critters from just like beautiful glass figurines, birds, penguins, monkeys, butterflies, dolphins, all kinds of horses. This is the sand tray that my daughter did when she was playing. She's going to be 30. And she made a beautiful, let's see this. She made a beautiful depiction of a perfect place where there's no judgment. I don't know if you can see the different types of religious symbols in there. There's Jewish, there's Christian, there's some LGBTQ stuff in there. And all the animals are living in harmony. And that's kind of how she rolls. Let's see. What else do I have to show you? I do have a nice selection of things to depict, sexual identity. And lots of stuff in here for that and different religions. There's a Bible, and it's actually got the pages in there. And then I've got drug and alcohol stuff, gambling stuff, even artificial cigarettes that look so real. I don't know if you can see, but they even they look like they're lit. They're a trip. Okay, and I've got cars, lots of cars. I've got police cars. I've got a police department. I have a huge selection of, and I didn't have enough room on the surfaces, but a huge selection of children's stuff, all kinds of animals, both, talking mythical animals, lots of little tiny critters, animals, skateboarders, dinosaurs made out of bones. I have these guys that I love. These are like the three monkeys, these glass figurines. And I've got lots of stuff that can be used to make up, your areas. I've got all of the trees, all the fall trees that are in this, and lots of other different size trees. I've got littler trees. I have things to depict different animal families. I've got an entire lion family. I think she's got the dad lion inside the sand tray. The role of ethnicity has a lot to do with how a sand tray can be used to represent things that maybe go back. I've got Pocahontas. I've got a little Indian warrior guy. Let's see, what else do I have here? I even have miniature food, all kinds of miniature food. Here's a little taco seasoning. Spaghetti sauce. I know I was only supposed to have 10 items, but this collection really means a lot to me. And I am very excited about it. Let's see what else. So, in using the miniatures obviously can represent absolutely everything and anything. And a therapist can direct a couple to pick out miniatures that represent their feelings or that depict how they see their relationship. And they can also be used to depict what they see their relationship to be like in the future, or maybe what they would like to see their relationship like. I have even couples that are married. Oh gosh, what else here? The miniatures represent how families feel. They represent how people feel about themselves, how children feel about themselves. It gives them the opportunity to empower themselves. And also it gives them an opportunity to show truths about what's going on in their lives, and also it enables them to, bring these knights in to save them in the middle of something that's happening in their life, or maybe a child's being bullied and it needs to build a entire army that can be on their side. I've got all the army guys. I think I might have told you, I've got the police and the police department, or maybe they can escape and they can go camping. I've got this neat little tent. I don't know if you can see the shadow of the guy inside the tent. And he's got a canoe with a paddle and his campfire. My daughter used it inside of the sand tray. So, and sometimes you just need just something that's sweet. We've got these guys that just represent, just sweetness. It's important to have houses. I have houses, tree house, really neat houses. This guy lights up too. I don't know if it's not picking up because it's too bright behind me. There are alligators that you could put in the pond that could be representing something that's scary or something that's fearful or something that that's possibly a threat. And then there's lots of, I don't know if you can see, there's really neat stepping stones. You can make pathways to things and places that are important to you. All different kinds of creatures. And then she depicted death. My daughter herself, her biological dad, she's got a whole graveyard here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tombstones and a heart. And the heart is the same tone as the sand. And she said she wants to remember those who have passed. And she lost her biological father about 8 years after she lost her stepdad that raised her. And she was close we're all very, very close. I've got some weird, quirky things here. Sometimes, I don't know what that would be used for. Let's see. Well, maybe that's about all I need to show you for now. The families consist of everybody you would have in your regular family, your grandmas, your grandpas, an older kid, a mom and dad, and a baby and a younger child. And all families come with that. That I have here, although I don't really have them really grouped together. I have them just kind of displayed so that they could grab whatever dad they want. Maybe they got a brown dad and a white mom. Maybe they got a red dad and a white mom, or a red dad and a black mom. Who knows? So, yeah, let's see. The miniatures represent the family's feelings. They represent one another and their feelings about themselves. And they provide a way to describe your the dyadic relationships. And miniatures open the subconscious. Let's see. Did I forget anything? Well, I think that is about it as far as being able to introduce this to you. Did I forget anything? So yes, it's very important to, I have some, many of these folks, they're not gender specific. There's, you have to be able to adjust to whatever identity or non-identity. And I think that's why it's so important to have such a well-stocked selection of miniatures, because, one size does not fit all. And yeah, it's pretty incredible. And I have enjoyed it very, very much. Let's see, if I have a closing thought, my closing thought would be, when I was playing with this, I noticed how important everything felt, very scattered, and I could see the importance of having a nice laid out shelf. I don't have room. My house is an art gallery. I don't have room for that shelf, although I do have the shelf. And I think that it's very important to have things grouped to where, like for instance, when I was playing with it, I didn't choose any people. Interestingly, I chose stuff kind of like my daughter did in a way. In fact, the people that she chose to put in hers were these adorable little animal loving, I don't know what these people are, but they're so cute. But she didn't have any people to represent herself. And I didn't have any when I did mine either. But I did have a lot of animals. I had a lot of just like peace and serenity, kind of like she did too. But it just felt really good to just be able to create a landscape. Maybe it was more of an escape, because it's definitely not what I have going on right now, that's for sure. But so I think that it's important. One thing that I really learned, one takeaway, is that in setting up the playroom, I think it's important to have it very diverse, but I think it's very important to have it organized so that whoever's working with the playroom is able to have their pick of all the people, have their pick of all the animals, so that they don't all of a sudden see an animal after they've already put their animal family in the tray and go, oh, shoot, I didn't see that turtle family. So I think it's important to have it organized like that. And also I think it's important to not have stuff crowded, because it can be very frustrating when you're trying to, for instance, there are about 5 family members on the ground behind that chair, and I'll have to get to them after this video. But it's very important that you're able to get to, the person or the animal or the whatever without knocking stuff down, because that just creates an unneeded frustration. So I also think it's important to maybe get, what's it called? Not gallery glue. It's some sort of a wax or something that's not permanent. It doesn't stay, but you can put things together. You can group things together, or you can really secure your knight on your horse, like this guy is having a lot of trouble falling. And that would make, some children might feel like, the person who's fighting with them in their battle isn't secure. And so maybe the therapist could, help affix the guy to the thing so that the kid feels like his backup is secure. So, and I did some research about stuff like that, and I think that makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, I even have a lady over here. She's signing, although it's kind of hard to understand that that's what she's doing. And I got a lady with an eye patch. I have a guy over there in braces, and I have a blind lady. I wish I had male representations of all of this stuff. I'm sure I will down the road. But yeah, so that is my play kit, and I hope you enjoyed it.